Hi, welcome to the fourth part of my Engineering 5000 design project. My title is Design an Arduino based O3 house or lab door status logging and remote web display system using thingspeak.com. So how this submission is going to commence is, firstly, I'm going to give you a detailed description of how my hardware relates to the title. And then secondly, I'm going to show you the graphical user interfaces for thingspeak.com and my Arduino Uno IDE. And then thirdly, we're going to commence into the improvements from the previous implementation. And then lastly, we're going to jump straight into the testing. Thank you. This is the detailed description of my hardware components as well as the software components relating to the whole project. So to simulate the doors, I used 3 magnetic reed switches, which are initialized or normally closed. This is because I want a flow of current when the reed switches are not in contact. As you can see over here, the middle reed switch is in contact, therefore it will register as 0. And when the reed switches are open, it will register as a high. I use this approach because I want the system to let me know if the door is open and at what time. Along with the reed switches, I have 10 kilo ohm resistors for protection for the switches, and I have 390 ohm resistors for protection with the LEDs, and I have 3 LED systems to show me physically the status of the doors. For this project, I'll be using the Arduino Uno R4 Wi-Fi, and I'll be using my laptop as a power supply. Jumping into the implementation of the software and the Arduino Uno R4 Wi-Fi, I'll be using the Arduino Uno R4 coupled with the Arduino Uno IDE as an intermediator between my components and thingspeak.com. So, when the status of the door is changed, the Arduino Uno R4 Wi-Fi model and the Arduino Uno IDE registers or retrieves data of the change in status, and it reflects this data to thingspeak.com as well physically to just cross-check to see if my doors are functioning. I use the LDEs to go on and off to show the status of the doors. This is my graphical user interface for the Arduino Uno IDE. And this is my graphical user interface for thingspeak.com. Thingspeak.com operates by initializing channels and opening field charts to show the status logging and remote web display systems. So these charts register status with respect to time. And another important feature or notice, thingspeak.com writes or reads data in 15-second intervals. Therefore, we must have a delay of 15-second intervals between each reading of a door status. Thank you. From the previous implementation video, my Wi-Fi passwords and the channel passwords and the writing key API were public. Now making them private, I created a secrets.h library so that I could just keep the passwords discreet. To test the code, first I will need to clear the channels. Since all of the magnetic reed switches are closed, we are supposed to get a 0 for the first reading. We're gonna have to wait for 15-second intervals to get the first reading. And as we can see, at 5 minutes past 11, all the doors were closed. For the second test, I'm gonna have to open the first door. I'm expecting the first LED to go on, and as well for the status for the first door to go to 1. The first LED is on, and I'm expecting the status for door 1 to go to 1. For the second test, I'll open the second door. I'm expecting LED 1 and LED 2 to be on, and the status for door 2 to change from 0 to 1. We'll have to wait for the next 15-second interval. For test 3, I'll open door 3. I'm expecting the third LED to go on and the third display to go to 1. The system works phenomenally. Now to test the opening of doors and closing of doors simultaneously, I'm now gonna close door 1 and door 3. The first and third LED went off, and I'm expecting the statuses for door 1 and door 3 to go back to 0. Now, opening door 1 and door 3 and closing door 2. I'm expecting the second LED to be on. And door 2 to go to 0. Sorry, just a mistake. I'm expecting the second LED to go off and the other LEDs to go on. And as we can see from here, the status for door 2 went to 0 and the other statuses went back to 1. Thank you so much.